welcome to my kitchen. I am Tina with Hanging with Frugal Tina. Before I begin, gotta give the thanks. Thank you to anybody who's new here. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for people who keep coming back day after day. I always say thank you. I hope you're not tired of hearing it because I'm not tired of saying it. So, onward, forward. What are we doing tonight? We are making a dish called Velveeta cheese. Now, the sun has long since set. As you can see all the shadows behind me. I apologize. It's raining outside, so my hair's sticking up all over the place. I gotta run in and run out. But before we go over there and start cooking, what I want to talk about is a couple of disclaimers. I left the store and I forgot to get the diced tomatoes. Traditionally, this is done with like cut tomatoes, like cherry tomatoes, but I was going to sub it out for the diced tomatoes. Got all the way home, forgot them. I do have some in the house, but they're not the same brand as Dollar Store. The second issue I ran into while I was out there is the chicken. I was looking for the $1.25 chicken that they have, and they did not have it. So I went over to go look at the canned chicken, thinking, all right, well, we'll just do canned chicken. They didn't have that either. So I went to another store that's maybe 4 minutes down the road, not far at all. I don't know why they're so close together, but they are. They're two different towns, though, so that might be the answer. I went over there. They didn't have it either. I think the Dollar Store truck hadn't come in yet. So I had to sub it out for what they had. So fortunately, I'm not doing a bare bones, this is what you can make with nothing video. I'm actually just making a video about a dish I would make outside of the Dollar Store and translating into what we could do with Dollar Store or Dollar Tree ingredients. I keep saying Dollar Store, I mean Dollar Tree. So that being said, I think that's everything I have to talk about. I also am using pantry staples, meaning seasonings, maybe some butter or garlic or garlic powder or something like that. Nothing extravagant. So let's get right to it. Let's go heat up those pots. Let's get it. Let's go. Come on. So here are the things you're going to need to purchase from Dollar Tree. You need peppers, and of course they don't sell peppers, so I bought the stir fry, some chicken, pasta, Velveeta cheese. They didn't have the regular, so hey, I went with the jalapeno, get a little bit of a kick. And of course the diced tomatoes that I forgot to purchase. That's all I had was the fire roasted, so that's what I'm gonna go with. You're also going to need things like, you know, seasonings and whatnot, and I think a little bit of butter, but that's it, like a tablespoon or something. So let's get right to it. Okay, I had to start over again. My camera dropped. What I'm going to do is I'm going to boil the pasta to al dente. I'm going to break out the bag. I'm going to take out the peppers, and I'm going to soak that Velveeta cheese in a little bit of water, but I'm going to show you what it looks like first because it's very, very thick. And you can thin it out either using milk, which I'm not going to because I'm not allotting for that, or you could use some water. So, and that's what we're going to do. So let me crack open the can, put the pasta in, and get the peppers out of the bag. Okay, so another thing I forgot to mention, I can't use cream of soup in this house, and there is a cream of recipe in here. So what I'm going to do is use another pantry staple. I'm always about having a well-stocked pantry, and I mean like your seasons and spices and things like that, because when you don't have something you need, you can make it like taco seasoning and things like that. I can't buy cream of soup because of the dynamics in my house, but I have bouillon, and I can make cream of soup from that. I have a video on how to make cream of soups. If I remember, I'll link it in the box below or at the end of the video. If not, it's in cream ofs in my playlist. So I'm gonna make this real quick. I'm not going to show you how to make it because I have a whole video on it, but that's what we're going to do. Okay, so we're gonna salt the water. Always salt your water. If you have a problem with broken pasta, look away. Couldn't break it. Okay. Got to give that a stir. So I'm going to break open this bag, see what we got in here. I don't really need the onions, but hopefully I didn't get a lot of them. So I only need a cup of peppers. So I'm going to take these onions, I'm going to put these right back in this bag. And then I'm going to chop these up just a little bit. Okay, so I separated everything. If these were, maybe it'll work. A lot of times, rather than taking my knife and chop, 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 going through it, try a pizza cutter. You just kind of like run it back and forth. It's a little bit frozen now for me, but I'm going to do it with the knife. So I'm just going to chop it up just a little bit. A rough chop. No real rhyme or reason. I'm just going to chop it. Okay, so I diced that up. It's a little bit more than I need. Just going to show you this over here instead of moving the camera. I rinsed the noodles. Pasta, I don't know what everybody calls it, macaroni, I don't know. Calls for a tablespoon of butter. This is to keep the pasta from sticking. And we're just going to mix that through the pasta. That's it. And then we're going to get to the next step, but I gotta finish my cream of soup. So when that's done, I'll be back. Even though I didn't show you how to make it, I'm going to show it to you. Nice, creamy cream of from chicken bouillon. Nice and seasoned up good. I didn't add anything but chicken bouillon. All right, onward, forward. Okay, you may see that I have two pots out here. This is the pot I made the cream of soup in. I'm separating because we're getting to the point of no return for Eric because he can't have dairy. So after I saute these peppers, we're going to be separating the dairy from the non-dairy. So you just need some butter, whatever, a plop. I'll put the exact measurements in the description box below, but just do a plop. Enough to saute peppers, and I was going to say peppers and onions, but it's just peppers. I have the Velveeta cheese right here soaking in some hot water because this cheese in here is so, I don't know if you could see it. That Velveeta cheese is so thick. I added water to the last one. In go the peppers, and it calls for a cup. I'm doing a little extra because I'm doing extra. Let those soften down or simmer out some of that water that's still in them, and I will be right back. Okay, so I'm going to take some of these out and put them in with Eric's. He likes his veggies, but I don't have very many of them. To this, we're going to add the soup and the cheese sauce and the tomatoes. So I have a cup of our cream of going in here. Okay, I have some what's left over going into Eric's. Hope you can see it. If not, it looks the same. I know I gotta turn that heat down. Whoop, whoop, that's way too high. Turn your heat down to low, medium low. Let's move his off for just a second while I catch up. All right, so we're gonna mix that around. I need a scissor for that cheese. You can thin this Velveeta cheese out with water or milk. I know I've said it a couple times, but whoops. Yeah, don't do that. So I had it soaking for about a good 5 minutes in there, so we'll see if it comes out any thinner. Doesn't feel thin. It's a skosh Skinner. It's a skosh thinner. So you could just add water, butter, or just leave it as it is, depending on how you feel. And while we were off camera, I mixed up some of Eric's plant-based with his and some butter to make him a cheese sauce, because he can't have this. Okay. All right, so I'm gonna add a little bit. No, I'm gonna wait until I add the tomatoes. Now here you would be adding not real, you know, fresh tomatoes. That's the word I'm looking for, fresh. But we don't have fresh. So we're going with fire roasted canned. You know what I'm gonna do? Is I'm gonna add a little bit of the reserved pasta water that I kept. I always keep some pasta water on hand after I make it, so that if I need it to thin something out, or, and this is what the or is, to make it creamier, I will add a little bit of that pasta water in there. Now, obviously, you don't need that whole bowl. Okay, so that's us. We're getting ready to start adding the pasta and putting this thing in the oven that fast. I'm gonna do Eric's. Let me move this over here real quick. Put Eric right there. Let me get him back to temp. Going to add some tomatoes to Eric's. He's gonna get way more than we did. Lucky dog. I think that's too much for him. He's gonna have a fit with those big old tomatoes. So we're gonna fix that. He's not gonna have a fit. Eric loves vegetables. Loves them. He just doesn't like really big bites of things. I'm gonna add his cheese in there. And this is just a cheese sauce that I made from his plant-based American cheese and a little bit of the Mexican blend. I put it in the microwave with a little bit of butter. And that's his cheese sauce. His is probably gonna be cheesier than ours. What's funny is I measure a lot for us and not for Eric, and half the time Eric's always tastes better than ours. Well, not taste better, like it's creamier or whatever, because I'm doing it by eye. There we go. There we go. Now we're all caught up. Let me switch the pans back. Turn that way down. To this, we're going to add a pound of chicken. Now, had we done it the fresh way, we would have cut up chicken breasts and we would have sauteed it in the butter in the beginning. But since we're doing dollar store version of this, or Dollar Tree version of this, I chopped up the nuggets. Now we're gonna add that. That might even be too much. We'll see. That's a lot. See what it looks like, yep. That's a lot. Okay, and to this, we're gonna add the pasta. Look how yummy that is. Now, if you did this like in a Dutch oven, you could have just transferred it right from the stove into the oven, but I don't have one. Well, I have one, but it's really tiny and it's shaped like a tomato. Okay, let's add the pasta. This is making a ton of food. I haven't even added any pepper or anything else, like, you know, salt and pepper. So we're gonna take our pasta that we put a little bit of butter in so that it didn't stick. I probably should have added it into the pasta, not the pasta to that, but we're here now. All right, so we're gonna, whoops, man overboard. This reminds me of, for some reason, it's making me think of Marry Me Chicken. I don't know, maybe because it's the tomatoes and the pasta, the chicken, I don't know. Okay. All right, so now we're gonna take this and we're gonna put it in a 9x13. I'm gonna spray it and we're gonna add this to the oven. You can eat it as is, it's perfectly fine. You can add some cheese to the top. I didn't reserve any and I don't really know if I have any. I'll have to take a good look. But there you go, that's ours before we add it to the oven. Here is the non-dairy version. Starting to thicken up already because it was sitting over there. Look how creamy that looks for his. His is more yellow than ours, you know, stuff like that. It's not really bad. I mean, that's actually quite yummy. Usually I don't like his cheese. Wow, that was pretty good. Now we're gonna add the pasta that I reserved for him. I know this looks like a lot of food, but Eric loves pasta. So, and he'll eat it tomorrow for lunch. Oh, we almost forgot. Boop. And we're gonna give that a go, just like we did ours. All right, here's Eric's. Ooh, I'm gonna drop it. I took a sprinkle of his cheese and put it on top because he had it. That's gonna go in the oven. I'm gonna do the same thing with ours here in a minute. All right, well, here we go. Here goes ours. It's thickening a little bit while we stand, but that's okay, because we want that. Looking good, Tyler? You over there watching me? You want to be my taste tester today, since Eric can't do this part?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, so that's in there. Look how yummy. Yeah. All right, I think I'm gonna let everybody salt and pepper their own, if it needs it. I should have saved some tomatoes for the top, but I didn't. I'm gonna scrounge around in the refrigerator, see if I have a little cheese to sprinkle on top. If I don't, that's how it's going in the oven. Well, I found a pinch of cheese. Now, this is not part of the recipe. The recipe ends here. This is me doing something extra. The recipe is over. Just don't forget to put your garlic in, and don't forget to save maybe some tomatoes for the top. All right, that's just for pretty. In the oven, covered, 20 minutes at 350.
If you get any benefit at all from my content, you can help me out by clicking like, share, commenting, and definitely hit that subscribe button. And don't forget to hit the notification bell so you'll be notified every time I upload a new video.
All right, Eric's is coming out of the oven. Blowing my hair everywhere. I don't want that. I just took it out of the knot. Ugh. Let's see if we can get you in on that.
That smells delicious.
Whew. Now his cheese doesn't melt like ours, but that is melted. Look how yummy, yummy, yummy. It's been sitting for a minute. I had to go run, so. On to ours. And here goes ours. It's heavy. Look at that. Woo-hoo! She's looking good. And I'm going to meet you at the table. And here we go with Eric's. Oh. How's that look, Eric, in there? Wow. Alrighty. Eric said he can't wait to eat this. All right, let me get mine plated up, and I'll show you what that looks like. Look at the side view. Yummy. Yummy.
Yummy!
There is a yummy. I don't know which quarter I want. All the cheese melted down into it. We had to let it sit for a minute because I had to go get my tray baby from work. And that first piece, you know, never comes out good. Ah. Look at all that yumminess. Woo-hoo! If that ain't yummy looking, I don't know what is. That is delicious. All right, let's go eat. We're at the table. Time to eat, eat, eat. I feel like banging my... Wanna eat, I wanna eat. All right, let's give it a go. Let's just go right for it, Eric.
All right.
Eric said he may or may not have snitched a piece of chicken. May or may not. Oh, it smells so good.
I know. I'm ready.
This is the first time Eric's had this dish, and it's also the first time he's had the cheese sauce that I created. I've created other cheese sauces, but not using these cheese, and I let him taste it, and he was absolutely in love. So I think he's really gonna like this dish.
Yep.
You got some peppers. I want to say peppers and onions, but there's no onions in it. And chicken. Ready? Go. It's hot.
Mmm.
Mmm.
It's amazing.
Hmm?
It's amazing.
That is super good. I didn't think you were going to be able to taste the peppers. I thought, there can't possibly be enough. You can taste the peppers. I mean, you really, like when you're eating peppers and onions, like sausage scallopine, you could taste the peppers.
It's amazing.
Fabulous. Love it, me. I'ma love it. This is do again for me.
Do again for me too. It's amazing.
Amazing, for sure?
Yes.
All right. Well, you gonna take your plate out of your plate out of your eyes, I was gonna say. Your eyes out of your plate. All right. Well, I'll see you later. And you know what? This you don't know. But remember, I used the jalapeno. So as I'm talking, I can feel a little bit of the heat in the background. So I like it both ways, I think. I think it would like it without the heat because I'm not a heat person, but this is not bad at all. I mean, I'm gonna eat this whole plate because it's good, but I just prefer things a little bit more mild. Delicious. All right. Well, I'm gonna get everybody else bed. I'm gonna see you at the wrap up. Well, dinner is over. How'd we do? Boom. One teeny tiny piece left. Absolutely delicious. I really like that. I like it better, I think, than the original version, but who's to say? And Eric, how did he do? He had his little square, little personal pan there. He kept trying and trying and trying. He's like, Grandma, I wanna, but I can't. And that is a nice size pan. That pan, all the way up to my wrist right here. Right to there. So that's a pretty square pan. Something on my hand. Pretty big size pan there. So, yeah. There goes his little mini casserole dish. He loved it. See you later. Bye.